Okay, so in this training, what I'm going to go through is I want to go through an idea behind why every VSL converts or every VSL that converts. I want to go through the reason why it converts, and I want to go through that idea first, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you three entirely different VSLs that are clients right now, and all of these three right here are all converting amazingly well, probably some of our highest converting clients. And that every single one of them is in an entirely different industry, but this one idea that I've got written out here is evident in every single one of them, and it's the reason why they're performing, despite them being in completely different industries. All right, so let's jump into it. This idea right here is like the only thing, I swear to God, it's the only thing you need to know, literally, to be able to write high converting VSLs. Okay, so what does this refer to right here? There's a couple of things that this actually refers to, okay? Number one, it refers to the idea that every market is, there's a desired situation and there's an existing situation, right? There's like point one and point two, okay? Point A and point B. Or in other words, some people call this like Heaven Island and Hell Island, meaning the market's right here right now, but they want to get over here. And as a basic explanation, if you can position the VSL, or the offer really, right? But like in the VSL, if you can explain in the VSL that the bridge between where they're at and where they want to go is the client's offer. All right. / product. If you can show that the client's offer or product is the bridge between where they're at and where they want to go, they'll book in a call. Okay. Now that's pretty cool to know. But the question becomes, how do you actually achieve that, right? Because it's easy to say it, but how do you actually achieve this bridge through the offer? Well, I'll tell you how. How you do it is you need to, this same framework applies, by the way, right? So you need to think, okay, over on the left-hand side here, you want to put in everything in this bucket right here that the client has either, okay, done what they've done in the past, all right, / tried, right? What they've done or tried, what they are being exposed to right now. That is the worst E I've probably ever drawn, right? What they're being exposed to, meaning what other sales messages are they seeing? Like an e-commerce founder goes onto Facebook, what are they seeing on Facebook? Are they seeing ads for AI? Are they seeing ads for Facebook ads? Are they seeing ads for, hey, I'll run your Google ads? What are they being exposed to? What do they know about? Influencer marketing, TikTok ads, right? What are they being exposed to on a daily basis? And then the other thing would be, really that's it actually. What they've done, okay? So like other agencies they've worked with in the past, what they've tried themselves, maybe they've tried, running ads in-house. And then also, what they've been exposed to, right? What are they seeing? Or just general trends that they're seeing, okay? I can't write with this, but you get the point, right? Just general trends. You want to put all of that in here on the left-hand side, right? Everything. And then what you want to do is you then want to look at our client's offer, okay, or our client's deliverables, our client's service in general, and you want to look at and compare what the client's doing to everything that's in this box on the left-hand side here, or this circle on the left-hand side here, right? That's the first step. Because the key to any VSL is showing, and I've mentioned this multiple times, and I'm going to mention it again because it's literally the only key to a high-performing VSL, is creating a simultaneous explanation as to why everything that the prospect has tried in the past, which should all be in here, why this has all failed, and why, which is this line right here, why our client's offer is exponentially better. That's the goal of the VSL. And so the first step to doing that is to put everything that the clients, as I say, done or tried, is being exposed to, and just is seeing as trends in their market, putting all of that into here. Then the next step is then explaining how, first of all, what we have, which is here, why this is different. So that's the first step. Different. Why is this different? Okay. Well, really, this is the outcome. This is the client's desired outcome, right? And this right here is the bridge. And the bridge is the client's offer. right? So this is the client's like deliverables, if you want to call it that. Right? Client's deliverables. So the first step is to explain why the client's offer or deliverables is different. That's the first step. Why is this different? Okay? And the reason why you need to start with how this is different, or why this is different, or the difference, the point of differentiation, the reason why you need to start there is because if the client gets any inclination up front that this is the same as one of these things that they've tried in the past or that they've been exposed to, then they're not going to give you the time of day to explain how it's better. Does that make sense? So there's two things that you need to do with VSL. You need to explain why it's different and how it's better. But you can't explain how it's better until the client believes that it's different. Because if the client doesn't believe that it's different, they're not going to give you the time of day to explain why it's better. Does that make sense? Because they're instantly going to bucket you in their mind. They're going to bucket you in here with all the other shit that they've tried that's the same, that never worked. Does that make sense? So you need to start with, hey, here's how we're different. Here's what I have that's different to what you've tried. Right? And you don't say it like that. You just explain it because you know what their point of reference is that they've tried in the past. You know all the shit that they've tried. And so by you just explaining, hey, here's what I've got, you know, if you know what they've tried in the past, then you explaining, here's what I've got, you know that that's obviously in their mind, they're going to be like, oh, that's different. And you know that because you know what they're thinking about. And if you say something else, then you know it's different, right? So that's the first thing, explaining that it's different. The second thing is explaining why it's better. All right? Why it's better. And again, you can only explain why it's better once you've proved to the client that it's different. Because when you explain that it's different, okay, you kind of get like a little shootout like that. This is it's being different. So now you're positioning yourself as different from all of this other stuff. If you don't explain that it's different, then they're just going to add you in here. Oh, it's another one of those things. And they write you off. Oh, it's another one of those things. Oh, I've seen that before. Oh, I've seen that before. And this is like the box of like fails. Does that make sense? And so if they bucket you in here, you've lost them. You've fucked up somewhere along the line. You've messed up. Because you're now bucketed in this circle that's just all of in their mind, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. In their mind, that's all of their failures. And they're like, you know, if you go to an e-commerce market and say, how run your Facebook ads, you're not going to get anything. They're just going to be, oh, failed. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. But if you go to an e-commerce market and say, hey, I've got X, and X is like this new thing, it's going to be like, huh, that's interesting. So you get this offshoot. Now, the offshoot doesn't connect all the way over to their desired outcome. How do you make this connection, right? The differentiation probably takes you about a quarter or half a way there. But how do you get it over the edge to connecting over here as the full bridge? Right? How do you do that? Well, how you do that is by explaining how it's better. So you need to first, point of differentiation. Okay, so it's like you got this thing here. This is the client's deliverables. And then there's like one little thing in here that you bring to the surface in the ads. One little thing. You don't need to explain you don't need to explain like with clients, you know, like with us, for example, like we don't explain to clients, hey, you jump on an onboarding call with us and, you know, we run your ads and we do this and we do that. No, we don't do any of that. What do we do in the ads? We just focus on one little aspect, which is the point of differentiation. We focus on this one little aspect about how we're different. And what is that little aspect for us? That aspect for us is our frontal cortex funnel. It's the funnel that we bring to the surface. That we say, hey, this is how we're exponentially better than every other option or whatever, right? It's that. But then, not only do I bring that to the surface, but then what I now do is I take this and I explain why this is better than what they're trying. And that's what then makes this connection. Does that make sense? And now, in the prospect's mind, right, they can see how we're different and how we're better than every other option they have in the market to get this desired outcome. Now, this desired outcome is pre-existing. So you don't create the outcome. You don't create the desire because the desire is pre-existing. And so this needs to be your offer. And how you create that is in any market that you're going after, you need to know within that market, right, what the pre-existing desire is in that market. So you go into home improvement. What's the pre-existing desire? They all want more jobs, more quotes, more estimates. Okay, great. That's a pre-existing desire. I'm not creating that desire. I'm not saying in the ads, hey, you really want more jobs. I promise you, like, the thing you want is more jobs. You want more jobs. I'm not selling them on the fact that they want more jobs. I'm telling them, like, I know that they want more jobs. So I say, hey, I'll guarantee you this many jobs. And I know that by me guaranteeing that, I'm naturally speaking to their pre-existing desire. You go to any agency owner. The pre-existing desire of any agency owner is, I want more sales calls, or I want more clients. I'm not selling them on why they want more clients. I'm saying, I'll guarantee you clients. And I'm saying that because I know they want more clients, right? And so that's that bit. This is like the desired outcome over here. You just state that. Like this, you don't create or anything like that. But you can't just say, hey, I'll get you more clients, and then you get a bunch of people flocking into the ads. Or you can't, like, if we have a client who works with home improvement, you can't just say to home improvement people or companies, hey, I'll get you more jobs. Click, book on a call and I'll get you more jobs. You can't say that, right? You need to say how I'll get you more jobs, and here's how. And then that's this explanation right here. Does that make sense? So let me show you this in action, because I think this is really where it's going to sink in a lot. Okay, so this VSL framework, like, as I've already mentioned, go and watch the client training on how the framework is and whatnot, right? But what I want to show you is this bit here. So again, remember, we start with the left-hand side. We start with, you've tried this, and here's why. This is the other thing. You want to start with everything that they've done, and then you need to start with everything they've done, and then explain why that's not worked. Okay? So you need to explain, you're probably doing this right here, this right here, this right here, this right here, this right here. But that's not working. And here's why. And you explain why it's not working. Because remember, the goal of the entire VSL is to create a simultaneous explanation as to why what they've tried in the past, this, has not worked, and why this is different. All right? So we need to start here. And again, this is why it's so important. Before you ever write VSLs or you do any client VSLs or anything like that, you need to know the market. You need to know, what are these things that they've tried? What are all of these little circles that they've tried? Or, okay, they've tried X, Y, Z. Okay, then you need to know, well, why haven't all of these circles worked? I mean, there's a lot in here, but why has none of them worked? Okay, so it's because of this, whatever. Okay, that's why it's not worked. Okay, great. The client, again, this one does amazingly well. He did, I think, similar number. Well, he actually did more. He went from like 0 to like 120K or something in his first month. And this VSL has booked in 300 calls at the point of recording this. It's a lot. So again, let's go through the framework. You'll see exactly the same thing. Okay. Mechanism. If you want to know how we get the result, here's how. Let's be honest. It's no secret that owning assets is the key to success and financial freedom, but investing in stocks, crypto, or real estate comes with its own set of risks. In order to get the results you truly want, you must be willing to be in it for the long term. Now, this requires a tremendous amount of discipline and patience. But let me ask you this. If I gave you the opportunity to invest in a fully automated business that is guaranteed to generate you 30K in 6 months or less at the very least, or you don't pay, would you take this offer, right? If you're a seasoned investor, you know that general investments like stocks or real estate give an annual return of 10% on average. Not bad, but with inflation on the rise causing most stocks, properties to plummet, cash on cash returns is more important than ever. So by now, you probably know you're probably asking yourself, well, where do I put my money to generate more than 10% returns with zero risk? So what we're doing there is, first of all, just explaining, again, this is not going too deep into it, but it's explaining alternative routes. That's what it's explaining. And why they're probably not the best. So this client, he wants to work with people who have a sum of cash up front and are looking for places to invest. That's what this client's looking for, right? Those types of people who have, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand on hand, cash on hand, and they're looking for somewhere to invest it. And so what he's doing is explaining the routes that they're probably thinking about doing, or maybe they've tried, like stocks, real estate, crypto. They're probably thinking about putting their money in there, but they're not sure yet. And so he's explaining that and then saying why they're not that great of an investment. right? So again, it's explaining why what they've either tried in the past or maybe what they're thinking about doing is not going to work. And so instead, here's what I've got. Now he's going to start that process of explaining why his opportunity is the best bridge to get to where they ultimately want to go, okay? Because these prospects are going to try these things here to try and get to where they want to go. So if you then say, no, don't do this, then, but they still want to get here. That's why it's important to know that what the pre-existing desire is, because they still want this. So now you just need to position your bridges better, okay? So now he's going to go into the simple answer is e-com, but not the traditional e-com marketplaces like your Shopify's, your Amazons, and your Walmarts. What I'm about to show you will blow you away. That's not that great, but you see, with so many people competing on the same platforms like Amazon, Walmart, and Shopify, which are all amazing platforms to sell on, if you're already established e-com brand, our team has been capitalizing on an untapped marketplace connected to the largest social media platform ever. Yes, I'm talking about Facebook, but without running any ads. How do we do this? Well, my team and I build and scale a profitable e-commerce store that generates $5,000 a month profit without you ever having to lift a finger or you don't pay. Mark Zuckerberg quickly realized the importance of e-commerce in the midst of the pandemic, which led to him pushing the Facebook marketplace platform along with shops heavily. Facebook, and then basically now we're selling why this opportunity is the best opportunity for investors to put their money into, right? We're creating that simultaneous explanation as to why what they've tried in the past has failed, / what they're thinking about is not going to work, as we're doing here, and why this new opportunity is the best place. You can see, even just by this one line, Mark Zuckerberg quickly realized the importance of e-commerce in the midst of the pandemic, which led him pushing the Facebook market platform along with shops heavily. Just by saying that one line, we're now positioning, basically he does e-com with Facebook Marketplace. We're positioning that as the best option because Mark Zuckerberg himself has started to push that. So by the very nature of Mark Zuckerberg pushing it, it puts so much proof behind the power of marketplace, right? Adding to that idea of this is the best route forward if you want to make more money with your investments or whatever, okay? Facebook has over 1 billion active users per month and was responsible for generating 26 billion in revenue for the total e-commerce market cap of 1.9 trillion. Not bad for a social media platform, right? Pretty good, okay? And then it just goes into like some other stuff down here, right? So again, though, you can see that same framework playing out, okay? Same thing with another client here. This is an e-commerce client who wants e-commerce brands doing above 200K a month, as you can see here, okay? So, again, explaining what they've tried in the past. So you're probably pouring a lot of money and effort into driving traffic to your store with great ads and great landing pages and great copy with the singular goal of enticing shoppers enough to click add to cart. And the issue is that 9 out of 10 shoppers you worked so hard to get to click add to cart are totally anonymous, meaning that when they abandon, they are incredibly difficult and expensive to get back in front of. And to add fuel to the fire, iOS 14 changes made ad retargeting much more difficult by slashing retargeting audience sizes and making it way more difficult to identify your shoppers. This means that a lot of the potential revenue you should be generating just disappears. And there's no way to get back in front of these high intent shoppers who wanted to give you their money, okay? And then he goes into his solution. So this is where the identity pixel comes in and helps hundreds of top Shopify brand owners like yours identify. It basically does XYZ. And then he essentially goes into here, right? Look at this. So we've built a co-registration partner network with more than 1,500 of the largest US publisher news sites. So when shoppers create accounts with these publishers, given that we're partners with these publishers, they enter our already opted in shopper network, which includes more than 250 million engaged US shoppers with full opt-in. And when these same already opted in shoppers who are logged into one of our partner publishers sites end up visiting your website, the identity pixel identifies them and checks them to see if they're already inside your Klaviyo account. If they're not, after confirming that they are active in the email ecosystem, upon abandonment, it adds them right into your account and triggers the relevant abandonment flows, enabling you to reach back out to them with full permissions and get a second shot to convert them. So again, you can see how he's taking this aspect of what he does, which is this co-registration partner network, and he's explaining how this is different from what they've tried in the past and how this thing is going to be the key to getting them to result. All right, and the result in this instance with this market is doubling their abandonment revenue within the next 2 weeks without paying a single cent to try it for free for 60 days. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense with this whole thing. I know it's a little messy, very messy actually, but this idea between what they've tried and what we're doing with the specific client that we're writing for, how this is going to be exponentially better than everything else they've tried in the past. That differentiation, that comparison is the reason why all of these VSLs work so well, provided that the offer is good, because the offer, again, speaks to the outcome. And so if the offer isn't in alignment with the pre-existing desire of the market, it's obviously extremely difficult then to make any of this work, because you've got to speak to the pre-existing desire in the market. But provided that that's in place, the next big thing is creating this bridge. And so that's how you do it. And any VSL that you look at that's a client of ours that's working really well, you'll see this comparison every single time.